Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 5.
The closing of a PD mental health facility may be good news for some who are upset because of its many violations, but for others,
shock, worry about what's going to happen to my son.
More on the negative impacts of the business's closure.
Plus, she's the ex-girlfriend of the suspect in last night's homicide in Horry County. And new tonight, she's speaking with WMBF News about the last call she had with the man now accused of murder. You won't believe when that call took place.
But first, happening right now, law enforcement agencies across the county, including out-of-town officers who are helping out, are gathering at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center for a briefing and to talk about assignments for this weekend's Bike Fest.
And ahead of Memorial Day weekend, we have team coverage for you. WMBF News reporter Marissa Tansino with how representatives from the NAACP are responding to that traffic loop. First, though, we're going to send things to Casey Watson. She joins us live from Atlantic Beach, where events will officially kick off tomorrow. Casey.
Yeah, Eric, Meredith, as you can see behind me, festivities are beginning to get underway here in Atlantic Beach at the Bike Fest that began more than 40 years ago. Now, law enforcement is at that Myrtle Beach Convention Center right now preparing for what they expect is going to be a very busy weekend. Now, right now, those officers are going through the traffic patterns along with what they need to know about this loop and the different festivities that will be happening. Captain Joey Crosby with the Myrtle Beach Police Department is one of the many people who spent the last year creating a response plan for the busy weekend. And he says the plan and approach evolves each year as they continue to learn what does and doesn't work.
We have outside agencies that are coming to assist us from a variety of agencies across the state of South Carolina and a few from Georgia. They're from various municipalities and county sheriff's department, as well as our state agencies are also providing support for us for this operational plan. It helps us to have the visibility to answer questions for our citizens and guests and to ensure that we're able to address the needs of the public.
Now a block party is about to get underway here in Atlantic Beach to kick off this weekend's festivities. But right now, Marissa Tansino is in downtown Myrtle Beach, where the NAACP is continuing to fight this weekend's events. Marissa?
Yeah, Casey, the NAACP continues to monitor Memorial Day weekend Bike Fest, both here downtown in Myrtle Beach and throughout the city. Today, the NAACP continued their fight, though, from the front steps of City Hall. General Counsel for the NAACP, Anson Asaka, says regardless of their preliminary injunction being denied to stop the traffic loop in Myrtle Beach, they will still get their day in court, and he says this case will go to trial. I also spoke with the Myrtle Beach Police Department today. Captain Joey Crosby says everything in the department's traffic operation plan is geared toward the safety and well-being of both residents, visitors, and public safety staff. The NAACP, though, doesn't agree.
There's no relationship at all between this 23-mile traffic loop and this concern about public safety. The real intent here is to discourage African Americans from attending Black Bike Week. That's the real purpose here, to make this event as unpleasant as possible so African Americans will not come to the event again.
There were also a couple of visitors who joined the NAACP for Bike Fest this morning. Some people say they have been coming to the Grand Strand for this event for years. One other person said he has been here for just 2 years, and this year will be his last. Live in Myrtle Beach, Marissa Tansino, WMBF News.
We have an update now to breaking news we first brought you last night at 6 o'clock. We now know the victim of last night's shooting on Greenleaf Drive in the Conway area. Horry County Coroner's Office says Charles Lawrence was shot and killed in a home on that street last night. The
man arrested in the case went before a judge today. Aaron Edwards is live now and joins us with the story.
Eric and Meredith, Taylor Strode faces several charges, including murder, which carries the possibility of a death penalty sentence.
All right, Mr. Strode, you've got a charge here of possession of a weapon during a violent crime and a charge of murder. You understand the charges against you, sir?
26-year-old Taylor Strode is accused of shooting and killing Charles Lawrence on Wednesday.
One of these charges carries the penalty of possibly death.
And because of that possible sentence, the judge wasn't able to set bond for Strode. Police were called to the home along Greenleaf Drive for a report of a shooting around 5:20 last night.
I can tell you multiple times the police have been called to that house to handle situations between the two of them.
Abby Perkins says she's Strode's ex-girlfriend. She says Lawrence was dating Strode's mother and they all lived together. After police were called to the home last night, they had a 2-hour standoff with Strode. That's when police say Strode barricaded himself inside the home. Negotiators worked for 2 hours to get him out. During that time, Perkins says Strode called her.
I'm sorry, and I love you. And I didn't know what he was talking about, so he let me know that he had been in a situation, kind of explained what was going on, and that he was in a standoff with the cops. And all he kept saying was like, goodbye, I love you. You know when something's up, and this is just a bad situation.
Horry County police say they are still investigating last night's incident. Reporting live in Horry County, Aaron Edwards, WMBF News.
Drivers are being asked to avoid the area of Ancient Mariner Lane in Pawleys Island due to a 3-alarm house fire there. Crews began battling that blaze you see there a few hours ago, and we're told all occupants of that home have been accounted for now. Officials say mutual aid has been called in to help contain that fire.
SLED is investigating after a person wanted in connection to a shooting in the upstate was found dead at the Lancer Motel in Myrtle Beach. Several WMBF News viewers reached out regarding a large police presence at that motel. It's on 6th Avenue North. Stick with WMBF News for the very latest on this developing story.
Another person is now charged following an animal cruelty investigation in Loris. 53-year-old Kimberly Schuler is charged with 18 felony counts of ill treatment of animals, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, and violation of the Horry County Dog and Cat Breeding Operations Ordinance. 43-year-old Ronald Moore is charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine. WMBF News was there for their bond hearing today. The judge granted Schuler a $23,000 bond and Moore a $5,000 bond. This comes after more than 30 dehydrated, flea-infested dogs were taken from that home located off of Bakersfield Road. Happened yesterday. The animals were taken to the Horry County Animal Care Center for treatment.
Our little break from the summer-like heat continues for the rest of this evening. Tomorrow turning about 10 to 15 degrees warmer, at least for a few spots. You notice we're sitting at 79 in North Myrtle Beach right now, a break from the 90s inland, but it really starts to bump up as we head through tomorrow. Tonight's not bad. We'll drop down into the lower 70s again. Watch what happens, though, by lunchtime. Already into the upper 80s, near 90 in Florence by 12 o'clock tomorrow. And then a good chunk of the area well into the middle 90s through the afternoon. 93 in Conway. Lower to middle 90s here along the Grand Strand. The heat index running 97 to 98 degrees, and that continues to climb through the weekend. That full weekend forecast is coming up.
New details tonight. The closing of a behavioral health facility in Florence has some parents on edge. The CEO of Palmetto PD Behavioral Health announcing yesterday the facility will shut its doors June 30th, saying multiple factors led to the decision, including the cost to renovate that aged facility.
While the center has a history of violations and fines, WMBF News Florence reporter Nia Watson spoke with one parent who's disappointed to see it close. Nia.
Here, Meredith, Amber Woods says she got an email yesterday that the facility was closing and her son Barry would be discharged on June 7th. But Woods says her son requires long-term care. And for the past 6 years, Palmetto PD Behavioral Health was a big part of that.
This is an emergency. I mean, we've got 2 weeks and no place to go.
Woods' son Barry started treatment at Palmetto PD Behavioral Health in 2013, diagnosed with severe autism and behavior issues.
He's what they consider a runner. He likes to run away.
The facility currently faces violations for staffing as well as facility issues and the mishandling of clients' complaints. Woods admits for a while she was troubled about her son's safety at the facility.
He'd have scratches on him and bruises on him, and so I was concerned. We have been looking for a new facility.
But over the last few months, she says the center improved.
You know, they had been making positive changes as far as the facility itself as well. You know, they made employee changes, and I thought they were going in the right direction.
The change not only hard for Woods, but she says it's probably more stressful for her son and other patients who require around-the-clock care and are used to being on a schedule.
They don't understand just somebody coming to get them and taking them someplace else. And telling them on the way, okay, well, you're moving over here. It doesn't work like that with autism.
The Department of Health and Environmental Control requires a facility to provide a list of where patients will be relocated prior to closing. Woods says she's working with the Board of Disabilities and Special Needs on relocation, but so far no other facilities have openings. She says she may have no choice but to quit her job if nothing becomes available.
And I won't be able to work. I have no means of support when that happens. So, you know, our lives are going to be a lot different.
Now, DHEC officials say Palmetto PD hasn't officially notified them about the closure. The agency and the facility were in the process of deciding on corrective actions for the violations. Live in Florence, Nia Watson, WMBF News.
A cab ride gone wrong, plus a place you keep belongings in hopes of keeping them safe. Also the site of a crime. Suspect search, all new and next at 5.
Still looking at long delays on Highway 501 from the accident earlier on the Waccamaw River Bridge. Headed back towards Conway. All the red dots you see there Basically a standstill traffic report, still taking you about 30 minutes to go 1.5 miles through there, running about 3 to 4 miles per hour on 501, 5 to 6 miles per hour on 544. So it's backing up on both 501 and 544. Commute times right now going from Myrtle Beach back inland, 45 minutes to go from Myrtle Beach to Conway.
It's a place you store your belongings to keep them safe. Police say it was also the site for a burglary. Plus, hail a cab, take the ride, then take off without paying. That's going to get you in big trouble. Let's introduce you to this week's suspects. Horry County Police are trying to track down Joseph Dennis Register. Authorities say in January of last year, they responded to a burglary in progress at all kinds of storage in Longs. They found a storage unit with a bent door and a box in the driveway. Police say they found Register wearing gloves and a ski mask, crouching among trees and branches. Investigators say he admitted to the burglary and to moving cameras on the property. Later that day, the business's owner gave police items found at the scene, including a black ski mask, 2 leather gloves, a magazine with bullets, a pry bar, a camouflage mask, and a jack handle. Register is now charged with failure to appear for burglary in the 2nd degree and grand larceny over $2,000. He's 41 years old with the last known address of Church Road in Green Sea. Horry County Police are also looking for Robert Curtis Hamlin. Earlier this month, authorities say Hamlin exited a cab without paying the $69 fare. Cab driver followed Hamlin in Cape Landing, where residents directed him to Hamlin's apartment, but no one answered the door. Last month, a similar story, as police say they responded to the Cape Landing apartments in reference to a breach of trust. The victim, a cab driver, says he picked Hamlin up in Conway and was asked to take him to Cape Landing Circle. The cab driver says Hamlin first asked to go to a pawn shop in Conway. He had 2 large saws with him he wanted to sell. The driver says Hamlin was turned away at the store and asked to go to another pawn shop where he assumes the saws were sold. Hamlin was then taken to the Cape Landing apartments. He told the cab driver he left his wallet in his home and would pay him when they arrived. His fare totaled $130 this time. Hamlin never returned. He's charged with 3 counts of vehicle for hire with fraudulent intent. Hamlin is 23 years old with the last known address of Cape Landing Circle in Myrtle Beach. For another look at these suspects, log on to WMBFnews.com. Just click on the crime tab.
A grand jury indicted Dillon's mayor-elect this morning on 11 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. That's according to the clerk of court. Corey Jackson was arrested earlier this month. He's accused of asking boys for pictures of their private parts over Snapchat. That's in exchange for money. You can read how Jackson's defense attorney responded to the indictment. Just find this story on WMBFnews.com. Jackson is currently set to be sworn in on May 30th.
A search warrant at the Royal Inn in Lumberton put 4 people behind bars on drug charges. Officials say Tuesday that after searching 2 rooms, over 21 grams of suspected cocaine, more than 9 grams of suspected heroin, and a stolen firearm, among other items, were actually seized at that point. Desmond Noyd, Brandon Hunt, Catherine Locklear, and Adriana Jolly have all been booked now on bonds of $25,000 or more.
Now, WMBF News First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
Temperatures jumping about 10 degrees tomorrow afternoon compared to where we are right now, hitting 90 along the Grand Strand. The top number is the heat index, so you can tack on another 5 to 6 degrees, feeling like 94 to 95 through the afternoon. So we're bringing back the heat, we're bringing back the humidity. But at least it's sunny. We'll keep the sunny skies going through the weekend. Rain chances very low all the way through Memorial Day. Florence, 96 to 97 degrees through tomorrow afternoon, so it is a steady climb. And the drought levels also steadily climbing. Not considered drought conditions in Horry County. We are considered abnormally dry. That's what the yellow is. Consider drought once you get into the moderate level, and that's what we're dealing with in the low country. But this continues to expand farther and farther to the north as we continue to stay dry. And that likely continues over the next week or two. We'll push this all the way into June 1st. Notice where all that heavy rain is, well off to our west. Meanwhile, in the Carolinas, maybe the chance of a few light showers. That's about it. Likely less than a quarter inch for most of the area over the next 7 to 10 days. So it's dry, but it feels muggy, especially through the weekend. Sunday and Memorial Day will continue to bump that up, and obviously that's going to help to increase the heat index through the weekend. Notice here along the Grand Strand, feeling close to 100 degrees Sunday and Monday. Afternoon highs well into the 90s, hitting 93 degrees by Monday afternoon. And into Florence, continuing to climb as well. 95 on Saturday, 98 degrees by Monday afternoon.
Horry County is considered medically underserved. This comes as the nation is currently facing a nationwide doctor shortage, but one hospital is working to fill the void.
WMBF News reporter Amy Kawada joins us from the future location of a new residency program. And Amy, this new program could be a game changer for our area.
By next July, Conway Medical Center will have a new family residency building set in place here on Myrtle Trace Drive across from the hospital to host this new residency program. And the goal is by training doctors here locally, they'll end up staying here in the Grand Strand afterwards. This program is in partnership with Campbell University in North Carolina. Research shows physicians who complete residencies in South Carolina are 45% more likely to practice within 50 miles of where they trained. Chief Medical Officer at Conway Medical Center, Dr. Paul Richardson, says the county will need approximately 98 more primary care physicians in the next 3 to 5 years. He says this residency program will provide a long-term and sustainable solution to address a growing need. Residents in the program will complete rotations in various specialties, including disaster recovery, one of the first residencies in the state to do so. Residents will be trained to learn their roles in various emergency plans, such as natural disasters. Dr. Richardson tells me Campbell University created this curriculum in response to the aftermath the Lumberton area faced from recent storms.
What we're going to do is also train our residents after Hurricane Florence. We saw the devastation we had here and how valuable, we know how valuable it would have been to have resident physicians who could have helped us out in those areas. So basically they learn disaster preparedness and how to handle such things, and we get the benefit of having physician power to be able to serve the community.
And with this new program, hospital leaders say it will increase access to at least 6,000 patients here annually in Horry County. And this new construction for this building is set to begin this July, with the full completion date set for next July in 2020. In Conway, Amy Kawada, WMBF News.
A lot of celebration happening this Memorial Day weekend. We have the lowdown of events you can take part in and the traffic information you'll want to know. That's ahead for you in just 3 minutes.
All gave some gave all. Pay tribute to those who gave all this Memorial Day weekend, or get ready for Bike Fest. I'm Hallie Moreau, and here's what's happening along the Grand Strand this SC weekend. The Military Appreciation Days Parade is happening Saturday at Market Common starting at 10:30 a.m. The parade will travel down Howard Avenue and Faro Parkway. The parade will be followed by a family picnic at Valor Memorial Garden from 12 to 2 p.m. This event is free. You can enjoy exhibits, live music, and more. For more information, head to scweekend.com and click on events. Atlantic Beach Bike Fest is happening beginning Friday and will last all the way through Monday. You can enjoy meet and greets, live music, and more. Beginning Friday at 6 a.m., Ocean Boulevard will be closed to northbound traffic, except emergency vehicles between 29th Avenue North to South Ocean Boulevard and the Kings Highway intersection. For more information on the events, you can head to scweekend.com. And you can enjoy the Memorial Day Golf Cart Parade in Surfside Beach on Sunday starting at 1 p.m. Decorate your golf carts in red, white, and blue, or just show up to admire the parade. Lineup is at 1245 on 16th Avenue North and Ocean Boulevard. The parade starts at 1 p.m. and travels south to Melody Lane. There is no entry fee and no need to register. Surfside Beach will hold a memorial service at 2 p.m. on Monday as well at Passive Park. We'd like to wish you all a happy and safe Memorial Day weekend. For more fun ideas on how to celebrate, you can head to scweekend.com.
Florence County Council celebrating the completion of a project that will help veterans get to the VA clinic on Sally Hill Farm Boulevard easier.
Yeah, now previously buses had to drop veterans off at the corner of the street, so they had to actually walk a bit to get to the buildings. As you can imagine, that made it difficult for those veterans in wheelchairs or those using devices to help them walk to get to the clinical services they need.
It's just a small thing we can do so the access to the VA clinic will be more available to our veterans. We've had veterans who have to drop off, have to walk here in the rain, come in 100-degree weather, things of that nature. Now the PDRT buses can pull up to the VA clinic and let them off at the door.
The buses previously did not have an area to turn around at, so as you can see, the road improvement changed that.
And we've been talking about this since last week. The heat moving in, and it returns tomorrow and then really bumps up through the weekend. 90 degrees on Sunday, 93 degrees on Monday. Of course, it feels hotter than that when you factor in the humidity. The heat index on Sunday, 100, and very close to 100 again as we make our way into Monday. Out towards Florence, check out Monday afternoon, 98 degrees. The heat index actually right around there. The humidity is higher here along the Grand Strand, so we have a higher heat index. The temperatures inland, they're kind of right around what the heat index is, but it's still 98 degrees, so it's still hot and it's still dry. Barely any rain at all here for the next week. As we said, we could use the rain, but I guess there's a lot of outdoor plans this weekend, so that's good news. Just stay hydrated. It's the hottest we've seen so far this year.
Perfect holiday weekend if you like it hot.
Exactly.
It really is. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock after Inside Edition. Look at that beautiful shot.